So we are right there at Romania's border, and there's a line of cars which we are standing behind. It has been a long drive today, almost like what, 7-8 hours.
No.
And now we're just hoping that they let us in and there's no drama whatsoever.
And the truck, there's a very huge line. It goes like way back, I think, for at least few kilometers. So I don't know how people
Last issue, guys. Last issue. Like once we are done with this.
Yeah, I hope they don't create any issues. Let's see. No, we made it to Romania.
Yes, Romania, we are here. Man, this will be a nice place to do business. This is it, and that's how you actually just like, have a company in Romania. And it's pretty simple. Like, you might think that having a company means like having a fancy office and like, I don't know, having so many chairs and like computers and people working inside, but having a company is pretty much a piece of paper. That's what it is. Like, you essentially just get some lawyers, register a company, and then you can just start doing any kind of like, trade activities that you want. And that is very interesting phenomenon because many people have a completely different idea of setting up a private limited or something. Now, this is the very first private limited that I've ever owned. So of course, I feel like all of the paperwork is twice like you would have as a sole proprietor, because in sole proprietor, you are the business. So there is no separate legal entity which kind of divides your business and you. So today also, like, we went for opening the bank account and we had a meeting with a lawyer in the starting. He gave us the final documents of the company. And then afterwards, one of the junior lawyer, they went with us, junior associate or something, they went with us to the bank and we opened the bank accounts. But boy, like, here, at least like the branch that we went inside, the people, they do have like problems with English. And the funny thing is, like, when you want to open a bank account there, you essentially have to show the proof of the address that you have in Germany, which is like so weird to me. Like, we have a rental agreement and stuff here. We are living here. You already have bank accounts and stuff. Why do you need this? But hey, like, they needed to like, check if the address actually is correct or something. So for that, like, we tried to show something. My lawyers, when I was like getting my driving license, they sent me a letter home. So I was like, maybe this works out. No, like, it has to be something else. So there was a letter from a bank that Alina received, and now Alina's account is like completely fine and functional. But for me, like, they asked for the marriage certificate and then like, they can open account. Business account worked out fine, but this is in Romanian lei. But the fun thing is, like, I've talked to the bank and they will be also able to make a bank account in euros. So I do not have to ask my business partners or something to like kind of like use TransferWise and convert the money in like, lei and like send it to me. And I think that's one of the major reasons why I also chose Romania over, let's say, other non-EU countries, because the banks here and also the politics here, like, it is kind of like getting more accepting of EU, and you can see like euro being used like at so many places. So this was also like, kind of interesting to me. So IBAN, I will have in euros. So that's nice. I'm also opening a bank account in Revolut. I already did one, but I'm going to open a business account now in Revolut so that like things are easier. So far, I really loved my N26. Although they kind of ruined it towards the end when they were having this 0.5% negative interest rate for any money that you're submitting above 50,000 euros. But I'm happy to see Revolut is actually, it kind of feels like an upgrade from N26. Like, I have to tell that for sure. And another thing that I saw was that like with N26, with Revolut, you can also like, start a business account, which was not really a possibility with N26. Like, if you have a personal account, you cannot have a business account. You could either have only one of them. So I have to hold the cat so that Alina can still get the packets inside. We are living in a studio apartment here, and it is in a super new place. That means like, I think in this place, the amount of like BMWs and Audis I've seen, and even Porsches I've seen in this one like complex, I have never seen together in Hamburg so far. Maybe we were just living in a bad place in Hamburg or like something, but I tell you, like, this is crazy. I think like people do have a lot of money here, but you also see like such a huge difference of people like who are working very menial jobs and like other people who are like having a lot of money. So that was like, also something that we noticed here. But so far it's been, let's say, we came to Romania on Thursday. We stayed in Arad. It's a border city in Romania. We drove for 3 days, man. Like it was coming from Hamburg till Passau. That was the first day. Second day was going from Passau till Arad. The third day was actually going from Arad till Bucharest. And I think like as long as you're having the motor highway here in Romania, like the roads are very fine. If I have to tell you that, like the Romanian roads that I've seen, the motor highway, like it's super nice, like no problems whatsoever, like sometimes comparable to the German Autobahn and definitely better than what we have seen in Austria. The worst one was Hungary. Like the kind of roads that I've seen in Hungary, my God, like it's just patches after patches. Like we couldn't see anything else. So I think like Hungary was the worst, like if you talk about like our driving experience, because we also like essentially went 2,000 kilometers from, Hamburg to like almost the Black Sea. So like near Bucharest. And I saw there's a border city of Constanta or something, which is like supposed to be a nice like beach city or something in Romania. That is also like from Bucharest, just 2.5 hours away. So driving was long, and especially doing it with two cats, I think that was a bit more troublesome. Alina was responsible for doing the hotel bookings, and she kind of like screwed up one after the next, because every single hotel that she booked, that hotel did not have a parking, and we have cats with us. So like then we had to like kind of cancel the hotel in the middle of the driving and find new hotels and stuff. So that was also crazy. The very first hotel that we stayed in Passau, my God, like I've never seen something worse in my life. Like I will never say, if there would be a list of hotels which I would like never visit again, like that would just like really go on the very top, right next to a hotel that we stayed in India, in Mumbai, when we were going for our India tour. So like every single year when we were students, so we used to take tours in India, we used to meet our community there, and different kind of students, like, who want to come to study in Germany and so on. So like when we stayed in Mumbai, like it was this hotel in such a weird place. All of the hotel workers were sleeping on the floor of the hotel, and we go there at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning or something, and then we had to wake everybody up. So everybody woke up, and then they're like, checking us in and stuff. So that was also like, something interesting. But my entire story, so like, of course we are going into so many different directions right now, but just to tell you that we are in Bucharest right now. We came here just fine, without any kind of problems whatsoever. The people that we have met here so far are decent, so no like complaints there so far. At least the experiences have been fine. Traffic has been crazy, like even if it's like, pedestrian walk or something, like the cars will like run past, so like you have to like really watch out on both sides and then run. But for me, it's again like not a problem, because I'm used to India. Like, people who complain about Romania or let's say Bulgaria or other countries, these are the people who have not been in India, or like maybe are not used to India, or maybe just went to India in a very fancy like tour guide or something where everything was taken care of by them. But I've lived in India, I know how things are here. So like for me, like this is like not a problem at all. Like this is definitely, not the same like in Germany, like if you think about road safety wise and everything, but I think it is not bad either. I mean, it is bad traffic wise, but otherwise, like you have very friendly this tax system, and you can find really good tax consultants. Like this is crazy. Like in Germany, so we have a business in Germany and we have a business in Denmark. And in none of these countries, like without shelling out insane amounts of money, you can find like good tax consultant. It's like very, very difficult. And also like, bookkeeping company. Here, like, I don't know, I'm paying just like, 200, 250 euros per month for my bookkeeping. And we actually have a lot of invoices going out and like coming in. And consulting with the accounting firm is also included. And the accounting firm speaks perfect English. So this is so nice. Like, for the same amount of service I would be paying in Germany, at least like, 1,500 or something, 1,500 to 2,000 euros. So I was like, this is like also super nice. Then card payment system. It is so much better than Germany. Like in Germany, if you don't have your Giro Konto or this Giro card or something, Giro card, whatever you call it, EC card, right? So if you don't have it, like you cannot pay in so many places. Like here, you have your MasterCard, like I have my N26 or something, I'm using it like everywhere. No problem at all, like nobody complains. You can use it when you're having a taxi, you can use it when you are like in supermarket, you can use it when you're going to restaurant or something like that. I remember very clearly, there was this restaurant or something in Hamburg.
Bakery, remember? we had to scrape the cents.
My God, like, yeah, bakery, like, you know, like they were not accepting N26. American Express was not even heard of, like, in Germany. And I was like, how is it possible? Like, you know, like, just how? And here, like, we just go to like almost any kind of place, and like, you know, all of these cards are like easily acceptable. I was talking about something, Alina, you made me forget it. Eh?
That you were in a store.
Right. In Hamburg. So once I took Alina out for lunch, like, you know, we were coming back from some place, and I was like, okay, there was like this Grill of Arabia or something like that, this restaurant. And I went inside, and of course, like, we ate and everything. And then afterwards, like, I had my wallet open, and I had two cards. Like, one was the MasterCard, which, or like American Express, which I was like, you know, using very often, because again, you have your cashback there. And the other one was like the Giro Konto, like this Hamburger Volksbank, this card. This guy, this like whatever, like, you know, worker was in the restaurant. When I picked out the American Express card, like, he was like, no, we are not going to take it. We are not going to take it. And then he like showed me in the wallet, like, use this one. And I'm like, man, like, this is so unbelievable. And this like generally happens. So this was supposed to be an Arabian place, but it was, I think, run by somebody from Pakistan. And like you see this so often, like, you know, somebody who is an Indian is running an Italian place, or is a Pakistani and is running an Indian place, and all sorts of stuff. So we saw that, and I was like, man, this is crazy. Like, you know, how can you tell me and like, you know, show me in your wallet that you just choose this card and stuff? But in Romania, we haven't seen anything like that. Just today, we were at a Turkish place. I think we really love Turkish food. I think the Turkish food comes right after Indian food for me, because it is like, you know, so similar. And like, it was a nice place, and like, you know, again, we paid with card. So card payment, check. Like, very good tax system. So like 1% tax on revenue, check. Dividend tax is 5% and is not 26.375% like you have in Germany. So that's very nice. So essentially, like, when you get money in your company, you pay 1% tax. Then when you take the dividends out, you pay 5% tax on that. But I would still be happily, like, you know, paying that instead of paying like 45%. And you have no idea. I was talking to the lawyers and to the tax consultant and everything, and I told them that for health insurance in Germany, I'm paying almost 800 euros per month. And they couldn't believe it. They said, like, in a year here in Romania, like, we are paying maximum like 500 euros per month per year for the health insurance. And everything is covered. I was like, you know, is it even good at all? Because like, we see in Germany, many people complain about that. Yeah, health insurance system is so bad and blah, blah. And they were like, yeah, like, the lawyer was telling me that, like, you know, his relative or somebody, they had some problem and they were treated just fine. So I was like, okay, that's like very interesting. Like, so for them, like, it was unbelievable that we were paying so much money just for like, you know, health insurance or something. Another thing which was really like, their eyes become so big when they hear is the tax system. When I told them that like, we are paying 45% tax there, and in Denmark you're paying up to 55% tax, they were like, how do you guys live there? And I was like, yeah, I mean, like, you know, do not ask me about it. But this was like, you know, all in all, a super cool experience. I will see, like, of course, there will be a lot more things to learn. Private limited companies generally have a lot more paperwork to do than, you know, your normal sole proprietor companies or normal freelancing companies. So that is going to be something, but at least we are settling in, you know, like, it is not as bad as we were thinking. Like, it's all right. Like, you know, we found like good people who are renting us their space, and that's nice. And like, once we are done with the paperwork here, we go for a while to Denmark. Like, you know, we take care of the Airbnb business, then we come back, and then we declare our fiscal residency here. So like, you know, all of that stuff is like cleared out. So if you get good lawyers, I would say, like, if you're thinking about like, you know, making a move or something, and maybe like if the German tax system is too much for you, and I don't think you should complain already, like, when you're just earning, I don't know, like 70,000-80,000 euros, like even like 100,000 euros or something. But like, once you start going above 100,000 euros, then you have to like start thinking like, what kind of other country would make sense in case you can keep your business with you and, you know, take it somewhere. Because if you work so hard for your money, like you're working on weekends, you're working day and night, and you're working a lot more than the government officials who just work from Monday to Friday, from like, I don't know, 8 to 5 or something, and they're like chilling out on Saturday, Sunday. Why should you feed them? Like, why should you pay so much money in taxes so that, like, you know, they can like live a chilled out life? I just don't understand that. Like, I find it the most unfair thing that could be done. So like, if you can move or something, if you are having plans and you're like, you know, I am having like second thoughts about growing my business in Germany, then I personally think so far, if you want to stay in EU, because if you're in EU, you have access to so many nice things. I think Romania is a decent place. If Romania wouldn't have worked out, we would have gone to Bulgaria. But like, I'm happy that Romania worked out, because Bulgarians, like, they use Cyrillic language, and I think that would have been a bit more difficult. So yeah, this is like, you know, everything that I was thinking about that I wanted to share with you. And this is my experience, at least for the first 3-4 days of being here. Next time I'm going to make a more structured video so that like I can share all of the points, but this is a more impromptu video that I just wanted to like sit down and make so that you guys know how things are progressing here. Everything is going fine so far. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for watching these videos. Like, that's very nice, and I'll be uploading more content regarding cryptocurrency and stocks and business very soon on Brandevise again. So subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.